Good afternoon. It's about 3 o'clock on Monday afternoon, and I thought it's important for us to provide you with a brief update regarding the tragic incident that happened late Saturday evening. As many of you are aware, we had a tragic loss with approximately 75 dogs perishing within a fire at the Ponderosa Pet Resort. Where we're at today is I'm happy to announce that we are beginning the reunification process where the families are able to be reunited with their loved ones. Again, this is just an emotionally wrought experience, and we're here to support them. And please know that each of those families, I believe there's 59 total, should be receiving some communication today from the owners of the pet resort, giving them details specifically how the reunification process will begin and how they will support them during this. Again, this will be an emotionally charged event, rightfully so, but more details will be provided shortly from the pet resort to those individual homes. Relative to the investigation, we also are beginning our secondary phase of the fire investigation. This is a situation where we actually go through a variety of causal factors to rule out contributing causes. I'm asking for your patience as well as trying to exercise my own patience as we go through this. We want answers, and we want answers now, but we need to go through a process of identifying clearly what caused this fire so we can better learn from this and help prevent a future tragedy from occurring. With that, our staff is deeply committed to this, and we've got our fire marshal's office there working actively today, as well as with some additional support from the state, and so we appreciate their support as well. So when we speak of regulation, the International Fire Code, which what we refer to it as the Red Book, that provides a consistent standard across the country. And by no means does it make it any better, but the code itself is silent when it talks to animal occupancies. We talk about businesses as a B occupancy, or educational facilities as an educational facility, or institutional for prisons and hospitals and things like this. But when it comes to animal shelters, it actually falls under a business occupancy. And we see that a normal business occupancy, such as a bank, is much different than it would be for an animal shelter. And as such, we're looking at ways that we can try to encourage change, not only here locally, but across the country. And so we will be reviewing some amendments with our council later this fall. But also, there's some existing standards that are out there. National Fire Protection Association Standard 150 talks about animal occupancies, and it talks about fire protection systems and alarm systems and things that are rightfully being questioned right now, but are silent within the International Fire Code, which is adopted by many jurisdictions across the country, including the city of Georgetown. By identifying and doing this gap analysis, we're going to be better positioned to be able to prevent tragedies from occurring. And I'd like to take this opportunity for you to be introduced to Wren. He's the fire protection engineer for the city of Georgetown, and he will be the representative for us at this week's Code Council hearings, where they will be speaking specifically to items such as this, so that we can see if there can be changes made at a national level as well.
Thank you, Chief. As the Chief said, my name is Wren. I'm a fire protection engineer for the Georgetown Fire Department, and I've been working for the Georgetown Fire Department for about a year. However, I've got over 30 years experience in fire protection engineering, and have been working in the fire code and building code development process since 1994. That process involves a 3-year cycle of code development. The code is modified and made, and changes are made nationally on a 3-year cycle. And it just so happens that this week, the International Code Council, who publishes the International Fire Code, is meeting to vote on the 2024 edition of the Fire Code and the Building Code. I will be representing the City of Georgetown Fire Department in that process, and there are several options before not only Georgetown Fire Department and the City of Georgetown, but the national code development process. There's a code change at F69 that would address animal housing facilities in a generic way, but also require specific fire protection when they exceeds a certain threshold. So that's one way that we want to try to affect some change nationally. Locally, we have that option already when we look at fire code adoption, and we also have an option to look at a national standard for the the protection of these types of facilities. It's published by the National Fire Protection Association, and it's their standard 150. We know that there are ways, well, the codes have not historically dealt much with animals other than as business occupancies or agricultural animals. This is, I think, a very needed re-examination of that position, and we'll be making some testimony and hopefully some votes that will have an impact, and we're looking forward to it. Thank you.